That was good. That was good, guys. All right, that was good. I'm thinking we get a wide angle, and then we're done. Okay?
All right. Yeah. Cool. Like how much further? Like
A little more. A little more.
you got?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Close your eyes for a moment and really picture it. You're somewhere completely ordinary. Maybe walking down a familiar hallway in your house, or standing in an empty office building after hours, or even just stepping off an elevator that feels a little too quiet. Then it happens. Reality glitches. One wrong step, one misplaced foot, and you no-clip straight out of the world you know. You fall, you tumble through nothing and everything at once. When you finally hit the ground, the impact jars your bones, and there is only yellow. Endless, sickly mono yellow. The carpet beneath your shoes is thick, soaked through with something damp and warm that squelches with every single step, like it's trying to swallow your feet. It smells of old mildew, stale paper, and something faintly metallic, like blood left too long in the sun. The wallpaper is the color of cheap mustard, peeling in long vertical strips that curl like dead skin, dotted with tiny black arrows pointing in directions that make no sense. Overhead, row after row of fluorescent tube lights stretch into infinity, buzzing at a constant 50 to 60 hertz. That low, angry insect drone that crawls inside your skull, vibrates your teeth, and slowly syncs with your heartbeat until you can't tell where the lights end and your own panic begins. The air is thick enough to chew, warm and coppery, tasting like dust and forgotten time. This is the Backrooms. It started as nothing more than a single anonymous post on 4chan's X board back on May 12th of 2019. Just a blurry photo and a paragraph describing an endless maze of yellow rooms where you are completely, utterly alone. That one post exploded into the single biggest shared horror myth of the internet age. A collective nightmare built by thousands of people, adding their own levels, entities, and stories. Today we are not skimming the surface. We are taking the longest, deepest plunge possible into the Backrooms iceberg. Tier by tier, level by level, sensory detail by sensory detail. We will walk through exactly what you would see, hear, smell, feel, and fear if you were really there. We will read the actual wanderer logs that survivors left behind, the ones that stop mid-sentence because something found them. We will talk about what actually happens down there, the hallucinations, the chases, the moments when hope dies and something worse is born. This is your extended survival manual and your invitation into the yellow. If the lights in your room start to flicker when you listen, pause the video. Check every corner, because once you know these details, you can never unknow them. Let's begin our long, deliberate fall. The Backrooms have been waiting. The very top of the iceberg is where it all started. That original 4chan post from May 12th, 2019. An anonymous user dropped a blurry, low-resolution photo of an empty yellow office space and wrote this: "If you're not careful, and you no clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum and buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell heard you. That single paragraph did something no polished creepypasta ever could. It felt raw. It felt real. Within days, the internet flooded with their own liminal photos. Empty malls at closing time, school hallways after everyone left, basements with buzzing lights, and the backrooms became the king of liminal horror. It tapped into something primal inside all of us. Those in-between places from childhood that always felt slightly wrong. The backrooms weaponized the mundane and made it infinite. But that was only the invitation. Now we descend into the first and most famous level of all. The threshold, also known as the yellow hell. This is the place almost every wanderer wakes up in. Imagine walking for hours, days, maybe weeks through an endless series of randomly connected rooms and hallways. Every single wall is covered in that same damp, yellowish wallpaper that peels away in long strips when you touch it, revealing older, even yellower layers underneath like rotting skin. The carpet is thick, shaggy, and permanently soaked with a brackish, lukewarm fluid that smells exactly like old socks, mixed with mildew and something faintly chemical. Every step produces a loud, wet squelch that echoes strangely, as if the floor itself is breathing. The fluid leaves dark footprints that never fully dry, and something seems to follow you even when you stop moving. The ceiling is made of those cheap drop tiles, some of them stained brown with water damage, and behind them is a cramped, dusty crawl space filled with brittle insulation and tangled wiring that feels alive when you brush against it. The fluorescent lights are everywhere, long, flickering tubes that never turn off, casting a sickly yellow glow that makes your skin look jaundiced and your eyes ache. The hum is constant, but it pulses. Sometimes it drops to a low vibration you feel in your bones. Other times, it spikes until your ears ring and your vision blurs. The air is warm, heavy, and tastes like copper and dust. There is no wind, yet sometimes you feel a faint breath on the back of your neck. The layout is pure madness. Rooms connected in ways that break every rule of geometry. You can walk straight for what feels like miles, only to end up exactly where you started. Except now the wallpaper pattern has aged 10 years in the time it took you to blink. Hallways narrow until your shoulders scrape both walls, then suddenly open into vast, empty chambers the size of warehouses with a single lonely chair facing a corner. Archways and pillars offer the illusion of stability, but if you look away and look back, the pillars have moved a few inches closer. Outlets are placed at weird heights with chewed cords dangling like dead vines. Sometimes you find a single flickering light fixture lying on the floor, still plugged into nothing. Above the ceiling tiles is the crawl space, absolute darkness, dust so thick it coats your throat, and the constant feeling that something up there is listening to every breath you take. No one stays up there long. What actually happens in level 0? The isolation effect is immediate and absolute. If you fall in with friends, you will never see them again no matter how loud you scream. Radios cut to static, written notes disappear from your pocket, time dilates. 5 minutes can feel like 5 hours, or 5 hours can vanish in a blink. Hallucinations creep in slowly at first. You hear your own name whispered from the next room in your mother's voice. Then in a child's laugh that curdles into static. Shadows move in your peripheral vision. The arrows on the wallpaper start pointing directly at you. Some wanderers scratch the patterns into their own arms, convinced it will open a door home. Others simply sit down in a corner, rocking back and forth until dehydration or despair finishes them. There is one cruel mercy called the Manila Room, a small office space with tan manila folder, colored walls, dry carpet, and a single warm amber bulb. The air smells faintly sweet, like sun-warmed paper. Sit there too long, and the whispers begin again. Softer, more personal, until the room itself folds away like paper and spits you back into the yellow. A real wanderer log recovered from a crumpled piece of paper. I don't know how long I've been here. The arrows keep pointing at my shadow now. I stepped on a loose tile and it gave way like skin. There was red mixed in the yellow. I'm still walking. Forward is a lie, but stopping is worse. Survival here is simple on paper and impossible in practice. Keep moving, never trust stillness, ration whatever supplies you fell in with, and pray you find a wall that flickers or feels softer than the others. Throw yourself through it. That's the only exit. Most lead to level 1. Some lead somewhere much worse. This level is class 1, safe from monsters. But the level itself will break your mind long before anything else can touch you. This is the first and most important lesson of the back room. The world you know is gone, and the walls are already learning your name. No clipping is how almost everyone arrives. It's that video game glitch made real, phasing through reality's weak spots. It can happen in any liminal building, the exact wrong corner of a basement, a certain elevator between floors, even during sleep paralysis when the boundaries between worlds thin. 1 second you're in the front rooms, which is our normal world, and next you're falling through yellow nothing. Reversing it is almost unheard of. Some say the Backrooms is a parallel dimension bleeding into ours. Others think it's a glitch in the simulation we live in. Either way, once you're in, the only direction is deeper. The Habitable Zone, sometimes called the Warehouse. You finally punch through a weak wall in level 0 and land here. The yellow is gone, replaced by endless concrete. Massive pillars, the width of buses, sweat condensation that drips in steady, maddening rhythms. The floor is cracked and uneven, echoing every footstep like the level itself is listening and answering. The temperature sits around 35 degrees Celsius or hotter, thick with the smell of rust, sour milk, and old oil. Fog rolls low along the ground, dropping visibility to arm's length in places, turning your own breath into frost in sudden cold pockets that appear out of nowhere. Abandoned cars sit half sunk in black oil slicks that shimmer like spilled blood. Maintenance halls offer brief white-walled sanctuary, but the walls start breathing if you stay too long, and the lights strobe in patterns that spell nothing and everything. Blackouts hit without warning. Total ink darkness where your flashlight beam trembles like it's afraid. Rebar juts from the concrete like broken ribs waiting to snag you. Tetanus waits in every rusted surface. Luxury lots are even stranger. Vast, empty, beige spaces with sparkling clean outlets that could power or fry an entire city. Crates appear and vanish overnight. Sometimes they hold food, sometimes they hold liquid pain that smells of rotting meat. What actually happens here? The fog hides shapes that might be pillars or something learning how to stand upright for the first time. Paintings on distant walls slowly turn their eyes to follow you. False puddles ripple with hidden teeth beneath the surface. You start seeing other wanderers in the distance, only to realize they have no faces. Entities begin to appear, and the isolation still claws at you. But now there's a very real chance you will hear claws on concrete or see glowing eyes in the dark. A wanderer log from day 5 to day 12. Still stuck. Lights went out again. Saw paintings with eyes tracking me. Something with 5 eyes saved me from a hound. Then left. I have no idea what it was. Survival means collecting scrap metals called tripsies for tools. But beware rust poisoning. Look for Meg outposts. Avoid the cult that leaves sacrifices. Exits are cruel, staircases that loop forever, doors that open into random levels. The level breathes. The heat presses against your back like a hand. Somewhere far away, a car door slams, and you never look back. The first entities make their presence known here. Smilers. They only exist in total darkness. You see 2 glowing white eyes and an impossibly wide Cheshire cat grin floating in the black. They move with no sound. They simply watch. Shine a light on them and they lunge faster than you can scream. Silent and deadly. Rule number 1. Never enter complete darkness without backup lights. They stalk just beyond your flashlight beam, smile widening as the battery drains. Hounds are next, emaciated, hairless, dog-like creatures that run on all fours with skin stretched so tight over bones you can see every joint. They hunt in packs, making wet sniffing sounds and low growls that echo off concrete. They are fast, aggressive, and relentless. If you hear claws scraping concrete behind you, sprint and find elevation. They are not smart, but they never tire. Pipe dreams, also called abandoned utility halls. The air here is thick, wet, and metallic, carrying the scent of mildew mixed with a wrong, sweet floral smell that turns your stomach. Concrete walls crack and weep constant condensation. Massive pipes the diameter of cars snake overhead. Some scalding hot to the touch, others ice cold. hissing steam or dripping in perfect rhythm like a heartbeat. The floor is littered with broken tiles, rebar, and half-buried bones. Sounds never stop. Tectonic rumbles deep below, endless dripping, groaning pipes under impossible pressure. The layout is narrow maintenance tunnels and crawl spaces choked with live wires that spark when you brush them. Hallways slope downward into darkness. Staircases end in solid walls. Temperatures flip wildly. 60 degrees in some spots, 100 degrees near steam vents, or sudden bone-deep cold pockets where snow falls from nowhere. Hallucinations speak of a clockwork heart deep in the level that twists geometry itself. The biological pipeline is one of the worst sub-areas, a 20 to 200 kilometer living digestive tract made of aluminum and flesh. What actually happens in this level? Earthquakes shake the tunnels without warnings, collapsing paths behind you. Pathogens in the pipes cause fevers and visions. Adrenaline spikes, then crashes, leaving you shaking. Objects that have no right to exist appear on the floor. A child's toy, a wedding ring, or even a photograph of your own face. A recovered log reads, "Reached pristine white rocks. The crumbling marble spoke to me. Something's been flowing through me for days now." Survival demands obsessive mapping. Never trust stillness. Avoid pipes at all costs. Exits are fire doors, golden doors marked with the Greek letter phi, or sudden neon-lit hallways that feel too welcoming. This level bites back. Every step echoes with the promise that the walls are learning exactly how to break you. Death moths are giant glowing moths the size of dinner plates that swarm any light source, blinding you before they bite and inject paralyzing venom. Clumps are grotesque piles of fused human limbs and torsos that ooze across the floor or wait motionless like traps. Touch one and it absorbs you slowly, adding your body to the mass while you're still conscious. The electrical station, scalding hot air that smells of ozone, hot copper, and damp fungus. Flickering fluorescent lights buzz louder here, casting harsh shadows that seem to move on their own. Walls sweat constantly. Massive transformers and wiring bundles as thick as your torso hum with dangerous power. One wrong touch and you're cooked alive. Pipes hiss boiling water that can strip flesh in seconds. Corridors shift and rearrange while you walk. Papers on desks flutter and reorganize themselves into symbols you almost understand. Underground, sections are flooded with cold black water up to your waist. Whispers echoing off the tiles. What happens? The level feels alive, like a giant circuit testing you. Stay too still and the machines punish you with sparks and blackouts. Elevators open onto nothing or drop you straight into level 6. A wanderer log reads, "The generator the size of a city is still running. I could feel it in my teeth. I think it knows I'm here." To survive, stay near working machinery for light, mark every path with scratches, and never trust silence. The level is industrial, hostile, and always watching. Facelings are humanoid shapes with perfectly smooth, featureless faces. They wear stolen clothes and mimic normal human behavior. Walking, sitting, even pretending to read invisible books. Adult facelings can be deceptive or suddenly violent. Child facelings are worse. They skip and giggle in voices that don't match their blank faces. The paranoia is crushing. Is that distant figure a person, or something wearing a person? The party that never ends because it ends you. Bright yellow rooms decorated with faded balloons, torn streamers, and a rotten birthday cake that smells sickly sweet. Partygoers, tall entities in colorful party hats with a permanent grin carved into their face, host you. They lure you with games, laughter, and the promise of safety, then skin you alive or convert you into one of them. The smiley face graffiti is their calling card. If you see it, run. The level plays warped children's songs that slowly drive you insane. Almond water is the only resource that feels like mercy. Found in vending machines or stagnant puddles. It tastes faintly of almonds. It hydrates you, healing minor wounds, and calms your racing mind. But tainted batches cause vivid hallucinations, addiction, or slow mutation. It is the Backrooms' cruelest joke. Hope in a plastic bottle that might kill you. The hub is the closest thing to neutral ground. A subterranean nexus of brick tunnels and asphalt roads beneath vast concrete slabs. Orange-yellow lights hum at a pitch that vibrates your teeth. The temperature is a constant 25 degrees Fahrenheit, yet the cold never bites. The air smells faintly of bleach. Numbered doors lead to dozens of other levels. Wanderers gather here to trade supplies and stories, but the monotony eventually dulls even the strongest minds. The hub redirects rather than traps. The abandoned office. Flickering fluorescence over endless cubicles, musty paperwork, stale coffee, and rust. The air is cold and dry. False windows show an endless rainy cityscape with thunder that never quite matches the lightning. The layout is Euclidean labyrinth of offices, filing rooms, and break areas. Vending machines occasionally dispense fresh almond water. It feels almost normal, until the rain sounds start to whisper your name. Meg maintains a major outpost here called Base Opportunity. A wanderer log says, "The previous mono yellow felt like peace compared to this. The rain never stops. I was at peace, for now. But every exit risks dropping you straight into the void." The Terror Hotel. Dust, old velvet, forgotten perfume, and scorched metal in the air. Jade and orange flocked wallpaper peels in long strips. Threadbare carpet sighs wetly underfoot. Warped 1920s jazz piano plays just offbeat from somewhere you can never reach. Hallways twist impossibly. Marble lobbies with blue flame gas lamps become narrow service alleys, dripping thick, viscous fluid. Furniture is wrong. Chairs too tall. Portraits that tilt to follow you with painted eyes. Objects slide across tables when you blink. Maintenance halls contain massive boilers with smiling faces that spit steam, smelling of burnt hair. What happens? Corpses appear propped in chairs as if mid-laugh. Foam dried on their lips. Anxiety coils in your chest like a living thing that grows the longer you stay. Ancient wanderers, some claiming to be Amelia Earhart, trade stories with eyes that have seen too much. The level holds its breath, waiting. A log says, "The Terror Hotel, as if this place itself is dead inside. Anxiety building every second. A haunted level, no doubt about it." Survival here means constant movement. Almond water appears and vanishes. Exits can lead to level 666 or false glimpses of safety that are traps. Lights Out is a pitch black flooded hotel. Ankle deep freezing water. Absolute darkness where your flashlight dies in seconds. Smilers are everywhere, their grins floating just beyond reach. Every drip, every splash, every breath is amplified 1,000 times. Micro-sleep drags you under. The darkness peels your sanity away, layer by layer. Most do not survive the first hour here. Thalassophobia, an endless cold ocean under a bruise-colored sky with no horizon. You stand on a tiny rusty platform or floating bunker, water lapping at your knees like knives. Fog carries the smell of bone dust and keratin. Massive unseen shapes move beneath the surface, raising tidal hills of water. Drink the water and it rearranges your insides. Flesh harvested from the thing below is safe to eat raw, but causes parasites if cooked. Voices call your name from underwater. The isolation hollows you until you simply walk off the ledge. Run for your life. Sirens blare without warning. Red lights flash. The ground shakes. Every single entity in the backrooms converges on your location at once. Hallways warp to funnel you forward. There is no hiding, no fighting, only sprinting until your lungs burn and your legs give out. One trip, one hesitation, and you are overwhelmed. The level turns the entire backrooms into a single relentless predator. Exits are rare and punishing. Advanced entities grow more sophisticated. Skin stealers wear the flayed skin of previous victims like ill-fitting suits. They mimic voices, mannerisms, and even your own memories to lure you close before they strike. Windows are predatory panes of glass that lunge when you pass. Bursters explode like swarms of small horrors. Howlers and dolers each target different weaknesses: sound, light, and fear itself. Meg, or MEG, is the closest thing to civilization. Thousands of organized wanderers run outposts across dozens of levels. Alpha in level 1, Omega in level 4, and many more. They map levels, study entities, run supply lines, and rescue new arrivals. Their databases are the best incomplete survival guide we have, but they are stretched thin, plagued by infighting, resource shortages, and constant losses. Heroes to some, bureaucrats playing government in hell to others. Other groups exist, small colonies, hostile raiders, even cults that worship the entity. The Kane Pixels found footage series brought the Backrooms to millions through the Async Research Institute. In the 1980s and 90s, a shady corporation experimented with low proximity magnetic distortion systems, also known as the Threshold Machine, deliberately opening portals into the Backrooms. Hazmat teams in yellow rooms, time dilation, ancient connections possibly stretching back to Egypt, escalating disasters, and government-level cover-ups. Their logs feel like leaked classified tapes. Whether canon or parallel, it added corporate conspiracy and analog horror that made the mythos explode. An A24 movie is coming. The Backrooms are going mainstream. Major theories try to explain it all. Simulation glitch, we are in a broken video game, and you no-clipped out of bounds. Purgatory or hell. Levels represent different mental states or punishments for forgotten souls. Afterlife is also a theory. Death drops you here. Dying again might loop you or finally release you. Other ideas are that the Backrooms is a living organism that feeds on fear, a multiversal trash layer, or a bacterial hive mind slowly infecting every reality. The endlessness suggests there is no true bottom. Rarer levels prove the Backrooms have biomes. Level 37, the pool rooms, is an endless tiled complex of still, reflective pools under soft lighting. It feels almost serene, until the calm breaks and something rises from the water. Level 3999 is a near perfect recreation of the front rooms, your hometown, your house, everything exactly right, except it isn't. It's the final test. Accept the lie as if you've escaped, or keep falling. Level 188 is an infinite hotel with keys that open random rooms. Level 10 is endless farmlands under perfect blue sky that still feels wrong. The true nature remains unknowable. Is it finite? A single massive structure? Self-aware? Some claim prolonged exposure turns wanderers into entities. The fandom itself creates new layers, competing wikis, canons, icebergs about icebergs. The final horror is this. You might already be here. Every glitch in your daily life, every liminal moment could be a warning. We have descended as far as words can take us, but the Backrooms go deeper. The yellow never ends. The buzzing lights never stop. The thing that happens down here, the whispers, the chases, the logs that cut off mid-scream, they never end. I hope you enjoyed this Backrooms iceberg, and if you did, please subscribe and like the video. Thank you very much and have a great day.